Kayla and welcome back to another week in my life. Today is not September, it's no longer September. It's November 27th, which means it is Thanksgiving break. I thought that it would be fun to do kind of like, oh, what I read in a week sort of video, except it's Thanksgiving break edition. I don't know how much I'm gonna read this week, but I figured this video might encourage me to read more because that's a form of rest that I try to keep up with during the school year, but sometimes I can neglect it. So I thought that this would be a cool video to film, and then I could also show you just parts of this week because first time ever my family is going on a Thanksgiving trip, so this is a big deal. So without further ado, I thought that I would show you the books that I'm bringing on this trip. And yes, I say books plural. We are only going to be gone for 4 days. The likelihood of me finishing the book that I'm currently reading, slim to none. Am I going to bring extra books? Of course I am. So the first book that I'm bringing is The Three-Body Problem. This book is the book club book for the book club that I have with my friends. I'm about halfway through it and it is very dense. I'm enjoying it so far because it is very informative. I understand, it's very scientific and I actually understand some of it, not all of it. Definitely not all of it, but I do understand some of it. So it is fun to kind of like play around with the science elements, but it is very dense and very hard to read with all of the science. So I'm trying to get through it because it's a book club with my friends and I want to be able to talk about the whole book. I believe that this book is in a series and the likelihood of me continuing that series is very low, but I want to finish this book. I want it to count towards a reading goal, so we're gonna try to get through it. And then the other book that I'm bringing is Sociopath. It's a memoir. And I started it like a couple weeks ago, but I haven't gotten that far into it. Yeah, it is also a very big book. I don't know what it is with me and picking like really long books. I need to read some shorter books since we're getting into finals and everything, but that's besides the point. This was a book that was recommended to me by one of my friends who was in the book club, and this might be a future book club pick, but since I got it from the library early, I was just like, oh, I can read it early. So if I finish The Three-Body Problem, then I will read this. Again, like I said, the likelihood of me finishing the first book when I still have like 200 pages left in it is very little, but I can try. So yeah, welcome to the video and I hope that you enjoy. Hello everyone, I owe you a reading update. So it is Thursday, Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. We are at where we are staying during the trip. My room has bunk beds, which is why there's like this really strange ladder here, but the window's like in the corner, so just go with the flow. So anyway, like I said, I owe you a reading update and still reading The Three-Body Problem, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not get that much reading done. I attempted to read last night and I literally lasted like a paragraph and I kept falling asleep. Like I tried to read for at least 10 minutes and I just kept falling asleep and it didn't work out. So I just decided to rest and give it another shot today. I did read a little bit earlier. Right now I'm at page 254, 255, around there. I think my biggest struggle with this book right now is just that it is so dense. Like there's just so much like scientific information. It's cool to read about, right? Because I've made it to part 3, so I'm finally starting to see like all of the different plot strings kind of come together. But because it's so dense with like scientific information, I'm having a hard time like getting into the story and enjoying it. No, I think it'd be more enjoyable if I understood all of the science. And I do understand some of it because I have taken like astronomy and physics classes before, but I don't understand all of it. And so I'm just like, all of this information is going over my head. And it was fun for like the first little bit, but now we're in like the 3rd act and it's just like, you know, I'm kind of over it. I want the fun of the plot. I'm not a science person, but that's okay. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone a little bit when reading. I am, however, excited to see how this ends because I can't predict it because I don't understand all of the science behind it. I think that's another thing is like, I don't really understand where the line between science and science fiction is in this book. So I'm like, I don't know how to like conceptualize the ending. You know how like when you're reading a fantasy or sci-fi, you're like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna end. I don't know how to figure out how it's gonna end. And so it's gonna be a surprise. Hopefully it's a positive thing because hopefully I understand it. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried I'm gonna get to the end and I'm just like, I'm still kind of getting confused about like who is who and what organizations are like how everything fits together in terms of like the people. because there's like aliens in it now, and so I'm like confused. But hopefully everything will come together in the end. I probably won't read that much more today because it's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go start cooking with my family. My mom has already started cooking. I'm gonna go make eggs, deviled eggs. Yeah, so I'm gonna go cook with my family and spend time with them. I don't know how much more reading I'll get done today, but I will update you later or tomorrow if I do. So, bye. They don't look very appealing on camera.
They're good. I feel like they're just naturally messy.
Yes.
So from here on out, Kayla will be known as the person who brings her daughter straight to all family activities.
And I bring the potatoes.
Yes.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Looney, look. Looney. Look.
Sorry.
Hey, no, come back.
All of it, whatever it is.
You're so silly.
Uh-oh.
Look.
It's good. Probably sharp as hell. Be careful.
Well, if I don't, it looks like that, which is not super aesthetic. Yeah. Cute.
And then, you're not gonna like this, but I'm gonna put a little bit more regular food over the top. Hey, you're
Leftover Chinese food in the kitchen. I thought you might like some lunch.
maybe they're changing.
Alright, hello and welcome back. It is Saturday. I thought that I would give you a little bit of an update on my reading before I get back to school, or before I get back to school. I have not really started yet. Before I lock in for school. If you can't tell, we are back at home. We are back from our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday 4-day trip to a cabin. It was really nice. However, I'm very glad to be home because I like my home. I am a homebody. Anyway, I don't know when it technically ends, but I'm counting Thanksgiving break as Wednesday through Sunday before I have to go back to school on Monday. So, it's also my birthday, so lucky me. But I'm so happy that I get to go back to school the Monday that is also my birthday. That's so much fun. But anyway, I have been reading very slowly, but I have been doing a little bit of reading. There are only two things that are motivating me to finish this book. The fact that it's a book club book and I want to get to the end to be able to discuss it with my friends, and the fact that I'm doing this video. Literally the only two motivations. Because let me tell you, if this book was not a book club book, I would have DNF'd it. One of the things that I've been working on the last couple months is like learning when to DNF a book, because I feel like my time is valuable enough to where if a book is not working for me, I can not read it. And that is a lesson that I'm trying to learn, because I don't judge other people when they DNF books, but like I judge myself and I need to not do that. I've learned that this would definitely have been a DNF if this was not a book club book, but we are in this situation, so I'm trying. I am on page 320 or 321, which is a big improvement. I don't remember where I was at before we left for our trip. I for some reason didn't think to check. My computer's right here. Let me check Goodreads because I don't think I've updated it. Okay, so last time I updated Goodreads was page 228, and now I said I was on page approximately 320. So I've almost read 100 pages on this trip so far, which is great, or this break so far, which is great. That's more than I read normally. This book is taking me so long for a myriad of reasons. One of the things that I was thinking about a lot while I was reading was the fact that this book, like, the voice of the writing style is almost like a history textbook. It still has personality. It's not devoid of personality like most history textbooks are, but like it's weird because sometimes we're in like the POV character's head and it's like great, but then we're also like moving between different perspectives, so we only have like certain bits of information. It's not like a history textbook where you have all the information, but sometimes you do have all the information, and it just kind of like flip-flops, which is really confusing, and it's just not my favorite because once I get attached to a character, then we move to a different one and I'm like, what? I don't know. I think I said this in the last update, but I'm on the third and final part of this book, so we are getting more information about like who these organizations are, what their motivations are, like who each person is, because I feel like the first 2/3 of the book was like kind of setting the strings, and now we're getting to see them like braided together and understand the whole plot. The thing that sucks is that I love a good plot, I love an intricately woven political scheme, and that's here. Like, it's amazing, but it's just so dense and like almost dry that I'm not enjoying it, and I want it to be over. I want it to be over so that I can get to Sociopath, because I watched a bunch of true crime while we were on our trip as well with my family, and I'm in that true crime mood where I just want to like consume as much of it as I possibly can. I also watched a lot of Gilmore Girls, so now I'm like craving Gilmore Girls, even though I have like a bunch of other TV shows and stuff to watch and like videos to watch, which first world problems, right? Like, oh, boohoo me, I have a lot of shows to watch. So I'm very happy. This is my perfect Thanksgiving break, is reading books and watching TV. Unfortunately though, now I have to lock in on schoolwork because I have a lot of work to do. I chose not to do any of it over the trip, which was great, but now I gotta pay the price. So I don't think it'll be too bad, but I should get on with it. And I will update you when I have more to say about this book. Welcome to the final clip. I have not updated you since yesterday. It is now Sunday, which is technically my last day of Thanksgiving break. Is also the day before my 19th birthday, so woohoo. I didn't really do that much reading today. I did read over lunch, but it was only for like 10 minutes. And I didn't read last night because I stayed up way too late. But I thought that I would just give you one last update on the 3-body problem before I call this video done and move on to the next one. Final thoughts on the 3-body problem, even though I'm not done. I read up to page 329. And according to Goodreads, I started this vlog approximately at page 228. So I read exactly 100 pages. That's awesome. I didn't really have a goal. Well, my original goal was to finish this book and start Sociopath, or continue reading because I'd already started it, which I clearly didn't do, but I made a lot of progress on this book, which is what I really needed to do because it is still not very interesting. I am struggling to get through this book. I am moving closer, I'm inching closer to DNFing it every single day, but I'm gonna make it through. Book club is in 2 weeks-ish, so I can do it. I can do it. I have to do it. So here's the thing, Goodreads says that it is rated 4.08 stars, which is crazy. I guess it makes sense because like the plot, like the way that the plotting is done is really cool, and I can tell that like the person who wrote it is like an amazing plotter, but the writing is just not for me, which really sucks because the plot is really good. Like there's aliens. I haven't read a book that made me feel like this in quite a while. Oh. Bless you. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give you my final thoughts on that. Yeah, but that's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time with another book video. Bye!